Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I wanted to talk about the books that I am planning on reading very shortly. Some I have to read, some I'm just wanting to read, a couple I've already started, so we're just going to get straight into it. This is another sort of currently reading video, but I'm still reading a couple of those books in that currently reading video that I am just gonna gloss over those. So I'm still going through the Unbecoming of Mara Dara, Daughter of the Burning City and Girls of Paper and Fire, and obviously Harry Potter. I'm slowly just going through that, but I have read extra books outside of that original like sort of TBR-ish video that I'm just gonna get into the books that I sort of need to read in the next couple months, mainly for school, but also because they've just been staring at me on my shelf for way too long. So the first one that I'm going to talk about is the His Dark Materials trilogy by Philip Pullman, mainly Northern Lights, which is the first installment. I am planning on reading this through audio. I think that might be the quickest way for me to get through it, because I actually have to read this one for my fantasy literature class at school, which goes back in 2 weeks from the day I'm filming this, and I desperately need to get to it. So I am thinking of just listening to it on audio. I'll probably get through it faster. I don't know too much about the character of Liesl and the storyline of the His Dark Materials trilogies, but I am looking forward to getting into it finally. I've started the audiobook on and off a couple times, so now that I have a reason that I have to have it done, I will probably get to it eventually. Another book that I have to read for school, and it took so much effort for me to finally get this book. It took so many weeks at Robinson's trying to source it, and thank you to the girls at Robinson's, because if it wasn't for them I wouldn't have this book in my hands right now, and that is The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin, which was a winner of the Hugo Award in 2016, so obviously this is a good book. Once again, I do have to read this for Fantasy Lit, so I don't know too much about it. Especially for a class, I like to go into things as blind as possible, because then it makes my opinions very unbiased. So I've never heard anyone talk about it. I've heard people talk about it before, but never in depth to the point where I actually recall what happens in this book. But the back goes, it starts with a Great Red Rift, it starts with death, it starts with betrayal. I'm like, yes. All of that. I don't know how quickly I'm ever going to get to this, but I have to read also Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. I have watched the TV show. I cannot wait for the next season, the final season. I am so excited for it, because I love my TV and I love Game of Thrones, but I have to have read or to read some of the first novel for my class as well, which is an effort. The good thing about it is I at least know the characters, so it's not going to be as confusing, but the text is tiny. Like, this is tiny text, and it's a mass market paperback size, so it's so tiny and compact and thick that I'm so intimidated by this. Like, this intimidates me more than Kingdom of Ash did, which is saying something, because Kingdom of Ash is longer than this. But because this is such a tiny text, I think that realistically this is bigger. I'm scared just a little bit, but I am so excited. On to books that I just want to read, that I don't have to read for any reason, which always makes me happy. First one has been staring at me for so long, and I have its sequel too, so once I read this I'm hoping that I'll love it and just get straight into the sequel. And Books with Chloe loves this, and Clockwork Reader loves it, and Cattastic loves it, and everyone that I watch has read it loves it, and that is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. Oh, I want to learn about Weep. I want to learn about the city of Weep so much, but I never have. So this, I've said it multiple times that I need to read it, and this is me like really going kick my ass to read it, because I want to so badly, but I've never picked it up. I've always had something else to go. As soon as I bought it, I was like, okay, I'm gonna read it, and then I hit the Mortal Instruments and I read all of Cassandra Clare, and then I was like, alright, I'm gonna read it, and then I was like, no, you're gonna read all of Sarah J Maas now, and then I'm like, no, I'm gonna read it, and then I was like reading the standalones and all this other stuff, and this is me saying I need to read it, and I'm going to read it, and I'm going to read it soon. And the final book that I wanted to talk about is one I have started. I'm only a chapter in. I have some mixed thoughts already. It is an anticipated book for me because I grew up on this show, and that is Slayer by Kirsten White. I grew up on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It is my livelihood, like it is everything to me. My brother is bloody named after one of the characters. Like this has been a show in my entire family forever, to the point where I've gotten my boyfriend to sit down and watch all of it because I'm like, he can't be with me and not see the show, and he really likes it too. So I have some mixed feelings already about how they're talking about Buffy and how much Kirsten actually knows about the lore, just that little bit, because it's confusing me just that tiny bit. What's confusing me mainly is how she's apparently the last Slayer when that wasn't a thing anymore. Spoilers for season 7, but Willow makes all potential Slayers a Slayer, so if you get born and you're like, oh, I'm gonna be a potential Slayer sort of thing, the Earth's like, yeah, you're a potential Slayer. You're a Slayer naturally already. And apparently she's the last chosen one. That doesn't make sense to me. I don't know if it's taken from comics and things have changed, but if going off the TV show, that doesn't make sense. Everyone who's a potential turns into a Slayer. There's this big montage at the very end of all these girls becoming Slayers. And especially because she's in the Watchers Council. Like, oh, it confuses me. But being back in this world does make me happy. I've already seen a character name that I've gone, oh, okay, yeah, I like that. So I've got some mixed feelings, but I'm only a chapter in. That could really change very quickly, and I'm really hoping it will. I am vlogging my experience reading this book because it is such an anticipated book for me, so as long as I take to read that, that's when that video will eventually get filmed and come up. So yeah, but I'm loving it. So I'm loving it without loving it so far. I'm loving the world I'm in, but I'm hesitant to be in the world just that little bit. So those are all the books that I'm planning on reading soon. Some I have to read, some I just want to read, and like some I've got to really kick my ass into gear and read. So if you've read any of these and you've got some own experiences that you'd like to discuss, leave them down below. But that's it for me for another video, and I hope you guys have a great day or night, and I'll see you in another one soon. Bye!